In an age of piracy, captains bury treasure, hunt down relics, find true love, and clash with nemesis as strange creatures gather across the Caribbean. Endless adventures await. Are you a brazen cutthroat or a rogue with a heart of gold? Your choices matter, for ancient powers awaken and lost civilizations return. Oceans rise and empires fall as shifting tides create uneasy alliances, and the fate of the Caribbean hangs in the balance. Myths come to life, and legends are made in Sea of Legends.
From the designer of Azur, Heaven and Ale, and the Mask Trilogy, Mikhail Kiesling. From the designer of El Grande, The Princes of Florence, and the Mask Trilogy, Wolfgang Kramer. Developed by the designer of Barrage, Solukin, The Voyages of Marco Polo, Simone Luciani. A new, magnificent edition of Maharaja. Make the cities of India shine with divine glory. Raise mighty statues and mystical shrines to win the favor of your Maharaja. Maharaja is an area control game for 2 to 4 players. The Maharaja is visiting the 7 most important cities of his empire, 1 for each round. Players will need to anticipate him, reach the city, and build shrines and statues in his honor, so the visit of their ruler will be unforgettable. During each round, players will secretly choose 2 actions to carry out using their action disc. Secret actions include gaining money, building shrines and statues, swapping their character tile with one opponent, or even change the order in which the Maharaja will visit the 7 cities. Actions are then resolved in turn order, which is defined by the number on the character tiles drafted at the beginning of the game. Character tiles also give you special and unique abilities. But beware, travelers, for your journey to glory is long. In order to move from city to city, you will need to disseminate your path with shrines, or pay to use your opponent's shrines. Once you get to the city, it's time to please the gods, creating magnificent buildings. The more buildings you own in the city, the more prestige you will have there. Shrines are cheaper and grant you little prestige. Statues are extremely expensive to build, but give you plenty of prestige, and if built in the right position, can grant you additional bonuses. At the end of the round, the Maharaja will reward the player with the most building in the city, with a generous gift in money. The game ends after 7 rounds, or when a player builds their 7th statue. The player with the most victory points is the winner. Get ready, builders, for it's time for you to show your skill and your faith. Will you be the favorite of the gods and your Maharaja? The new edition of Maharaja has new scoring tiles, new bonus tiles, and new characters, a new victory point mechanism, and greater depth of play. Unlock even more tiles with stretch goals for maximum variability. Graphics and components have been improved with fantastic engraved miniatures. Maharaja is back, and it has never been so good. New components, marvelous graphics, improved gameplay. Pledge now. Catch the early bird offer. Be ready to follow your mystical journey. Maharaja.
The land of Euthia is tormented by 3 mighty dragons. Monsters arise from the heart of the dark magic known as Fair. It appears that ordinary people can do nothing against such evil. But hope, perhaps, lies in your hands. The path you choose will give you the power to overcome your enemies. Beware, though, as every step brings you closer to your demise. Even if you trick death through the circle of resurrection, in the end, you will pay the price. Euthia, Torment of Resurrection is a competitive strategic role-playing board game where you choose one of 5 heroes and strive to become the savior of your land. Regardless of which hero you choose, you will be able to acquire and use unique skills, weapons, and techniques. Equip yourself with upgradable armor and jewelry. Gather potions, scrolls, and essences. Grow in strength and become the hero you were meant to be. Your journey starts at the Church of St. Michael, where you've been brought back to life after your previous defeat. Where you choose to go from there is up to you, as you navigate a huge modular tile-based map. Throughout the world are treasures waiting to be discovered, caves, mountains, and lakes hiding precious resources, and 3 different places of trade which offer a wide range of equipment and magical items. Not only will you meet the inhabitants of Euthia as they search for someone to help them in their daily lives, you will also encounter powerful elementals seeking to spread their power to their surroundings. Additionally, there are enemies threatening the entire land. When you decide to fight a monster, one of your opponents will be possessed by Fair and will take control of the beast. With the help of Chaos, they will use combinations of special cards to try to defeat you. If you survive, you will find that the hardest quest still lies before you. Will you be able to defeat the mighty dragon? Or will this be the end of Euthia as we know it? Euthia, Torment of Resurrection, now on Kickstarter.
There's an island somewhere with dinos and dodos living in peace because they have a ruler. They should have a ruler. The tradition says that every time a ruler's term ends, anyone may claim the Dodosaurus throne by picking a worthy dodo and racing towards it in a fierce competition, since they must tour the entire island first to be acknowledged by the inhabitants. The fastest dino will roll in the Dodosaurus throne and keep peace with a cute dodo crown. Dodos Riding Dinos is an exciting racing game with dexterity mechanics, great-looking components, and tons of prehistoric fun. Winner of the Quetzalcoatl Award, voted by the public in Rolla Game Expo 2019. With your help, this game will become a reality and expand the universe of Creature Kingdom.
Dawn in Neverland, a new day, a new adventure. Take on the role of the wayward Peter Pan, the notorious Captain James Hook, and many more while you explore the ever-changing island of Neverland. In this story-driven adventure game, 2 to 4 players take on the role of a main character in the world of J.M. Barrie's Peter Pan. As everybody's Neverland is different, every game will be a new adventure, with new possibilities and challenges to face. The base game includes 6 characters with unique skills and abilities. Gain companions and items, unlock new abilities, interact with locations and other characters, and gain experience during numerous adventures. Adventures are narrated through cards, which branch into different storylines depending on the player's choices. The immersive stories will ensure you'll find yourself in a world of wonder and mystery. Adventures in Neverland.
Rise of Tribes has expanded into Beasts and Bronze. The Bronze expansion brings a new way to achieve victory. Gain a technology card every village built, and if you complete all 3 Bronze Age technologies, you instantly win. The Beasts expansion is for those players that want, well, more beasts. There's a new edition of the Mammoth and Sabertooth, as well as other dangerous creatures. Now you can play Rise of Tribes on your own. Play your best game, Stone or Bronze Age, against a tough, invading warlord. The Volketh, a new tribe, can be played in the standard or expanded game. We have 3 unique hex tiles, and we're offering those free to all backers on this campaign. Join us on our quest to expand. Rise of Tribes.
From the creators of the critically acclaimed Railroad Inc., a whole new competitive experience. Railroad Inc. Challenge is a quick-playing roll-and-write game for 1 to 4 players. Grab a board and a dry erase marker, and get ready to reach networking nirvana. Roll the dice and draw the routes to connect the exits around your board. Expand your network with railways, highways, and stations to collect points. But you will be penalized for any open connections, so plan carefully. Railroad Inc. Challenge has everything you love from the original Railroad Inc. games and a lot more, with an all-new focus on player interaction. Introducing in-game goals. Those who achieve them faster get greater rewards. So you'll have to keep an eye out on what your opponents are doing and try to complete the goals before they do. A different set of goals will be available each time. No game will be the same. But wait, there's more. Draw unprecedented mind-bending route configurations thanks to the new dice. Connect special structures to your network to trigger new effects. Factories allow you to duplicate a die. Villages give bonus points if they are close to a station. Universities unlock extra special routes. Use these effects wisely and you'll score big. There are even new expansions. Create placid forest landscapes in the lush green edition. Or use oases to protect your cacti from the arid desert climate in the shining yellow edition. Each expansion also comes with its own goals to fulfill before your opponents, for an even greater challenge. And that's not all. Get ready to open up new networking horizons with a load of Kickstarter exclusive additional content. Challenge yourself with a solo board, featuring timed goals to reach before they expire, and research labs that give you the ability to re-roll dice if you connect them to your network. An exclusive single die expansion is also available. Roll your way into the future with a teleport expansion and connect your routes through portals. Test your skills with a whole new mind-bending puzzle transcending the basic laws of physics. Pledge our campaign and help us bring Railroad Inc. Challenge to reality.
And so begins the Exodus beneath the opal eye of destiny. Gifta, watch over the fleet of the brave, grant them mercy and support. At the whim of the winds and the tattered sprays of foam, we float on the tumultuous tresses of Aegir's daughters. Treacherous mermaids who whisper their flatteries and lead us straight into the grasp of the tempest, which Aegir, father of the waters, wields in his wrath. Our quest continues, snaking through rocks whose summits lay hidden in the clouds. When will the loss of men and reason cease in the face of this watery labyrinth? Are we alone in the face of destiny, guided by the tortured souls of our brothers? But it seems we give in too hastily to despair.
Land ahead!
Where are our brothers who disappeared without trace so many solstices ago? The answer lies there ahead of us.
If you like fun games, if you like weird games, if you like anything I've ever made, this game's got a lot of that. I actually came up with the idea for Tapeworm 9 years ago. It was right around development of Binding of Isaac, the original. Just got a wild hair up my ass about making a spatial card game. A game that felt like it was dynamically driven by the players and that space meant something. Like, I like the idea of things interlocking and connecting. I also wanted to make a game that my nieces and nephews could play, and they were really young, so I wanted to make something as simple as Uno, but have a good amount of depth so adults could play it. And then it's also weird and cute and gross and works with all the aesthetics that I'm known for. We can say that it's tied to Isaac in some way if that makes you buy it. I'll make one that looks like it's crying. It's a game about playing your hand out and making one long colored segment of worm to try to play all your cards in your hand. Everybody draws 5 cards, and the person who resembles a worm the most, they go first. You always start out with a start card, which has 3 main segments on it. And on your turn, you can build off of one of those colors. So you can say, I'm building off of pink. And then you can continue to play cards that are pink until they either end or segment into another color. You stop playing cards, it goes to the next person, and then they continue to do the same. But there's also cards that have abilities, essentially. What Dig does is it allows you to draw a card and then discard any card from your hand. And then Switch lets you choose another player, look at their hand, steal a card from their hand, give them one of your junkie cards. Then there's Peek, which lets you look at the top card of the library, take it to your hand and put a card on top, or put that card back on top so the next person draws it. And then there's Cut, which lets you cut a segment depending on the color of the cut. You could cut red and then continue to build off of red. You could cut white, continue to build off of white. You've got the angry red worm. He's all pissed and veiny, angry. And then you've got the little cutesy pink worm who has like a little doodle on its head. Just falls in love with anybody that they come into contact with. You've got the nervous white worm. He's usually square, like he has like a flat top head. And then there's the black worm, which looks confused and is all rotty and full of little worms. So the base game will just have the base game, which will just be the cards and instruction manual. And then there's the special version, is a nice foily version, which is a limited edition one. And that's the one you want to really go for, because that will include all of like the unlocks for Kickstarter, which we have a bunch planned, a bunch of 4 Souls cards I have designed that I would really like to put in. I would appreciate it a lot if you would tell everybody that you've ever met in your life and every person you talk to online about this. I really like this little game. It's super simple, casual, fun, easy pick up and play card game. It could be a palate cleanser between games. It could be just something you play with your family. Super user friendly, super easy to play, and it feels a lot different than other games because of its spatial elements. There's a good amount of strategy to it that will make you feel smart.